Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Ward Connerly, and I'm president of the American Civil Rights Institute, a California-based organization dedicated to making sure that all Americans are treated equally and that public institutions follow the 1964 Civil Rights Act. It is, and I'm grateful to you for allowing me to appear before you. It's sort of an out-of-body experience here in 2013 in the South. I'm from the South originally. For us to be considering whether discrimination should be allowed. We have a president who is a man of color, as we say, and we have made so many strides, and yet we have this issue that haunts us forever, it seems. That's the issue of race. And I know that most of us of goodwill want to get it behind us. Anytime we discuss race, however, there is a lot of discomfort. We don't like to discuss it. We just wish it would go away. But it's not going to go away until we, the American people, visit the issue with all seriousness and find ways of making sure that people of goodwill know what we're trying to do. I have worked with several states in that effort, California, Arizona, Nebraska, Michigan, Washington State, and New Hampshire, Florida, and all of them are trying to find ways of moving beyond race and to make sure that we ensure access to the broadest number of people that we possibly can. And when I was serving my 12-year sentence as a California regent, we gave a lot of thought to this question of how do we ensure access. And the thing that we focused on that may be of some value to you is that of socioeconomic conditions. Regardless of whether someone is black or Latino or vegetarian or white or whatever, the major impediment is whether they've had a parent go to college before or their income. Those are the factors that really impede people. And those factors do not marginalize those who are admitted without regard to race. And I would hasten to add that the consideration of race is supposed to be contrary to the 1964 Civil Rights Act. The Supreme Court is looking at that issue right now in the case of Fisher versus the University of Texas. And I believe that in the fullness of time, this will be resolved by the Supreme Court, and institutions of higher education will have no choice but to find other ways of admitting students to ensure access without using this insidious factor that we call race, skin color, and attributes that we classify as race. So it is appropriate that you begin that process of thinking through right now as a matter of overarching public policy. How does this great state of Tennessee want to have these attributes considered? And I would heartily subscribe to you that questions such as socioeconomic conditions are far more appropriate. They don't build the resentment that I guarantee you is out among people on the question of race. And you're really helping people that are more needy of it. The fact that my skin is brown doesn't suggest to you, shouldn't suggest to you, that I can't compete with anyone. But if my income is low, if I've never had a parent go to college, if I faced obstacles in my life, and you want to ensure that I have access, those are the ways to make sure that you do that. You don't marginalize people in the process. When we did this in California, we found that initially the number of underrepresented minorities, that was the term that was used, went down at our most selective campuses of Berkeley and UCLA and San Diego. But once we applied socioeconomic conditions, those numbers came back up. And we now have more Latinos and black students and Native Americans than we did before. The percentages are greater without all of the baggage that goes along with the consideration of those prohibited factors. So again, the point of being redundant, I would say to you that we shouldn't fear this discussion and try to walk through it with the idea of trying to find a solution that will be a suitable substitute for admission of those who need access, but without regard to race. That is the law of the land. It's supposed to be. It's not observed, but that is the law of the land.